So today we are going to look into the subject geography. Today we're just going to give an introduction. We are going to look at what the subject is, what is the demand of the subject, what is the demand of geography in UPSC. So to basically give a first look, geography is a vast subject. You have to learn a lot, but if you're guided properly, we can manage. It is manageable. We can manage it in UPSC exams. So first of all, just I will give what is the importance of geography in UPSC exams. So in prelims, geography you will get about 10 to 20 questions. On an average, 15 questions. This is what we get questions. This is how we get questions from geography in prelims. Around 15 questions in prelims. That means around 30 marks. So I think you're aware about the cutoffs of UPSC, right? Prelims. Around 80, 90. So 30 marks makes a huge difference, So that is the importance of geography in prelims. And in mains, I think you're aware about the basic, the structure of the exam, right? We have GS1, right? And in GS1, 250 marks, right? There are around 90 to 100 marks in GS1 is from geography. So that is the relevance of geography in UPSC. In GS1, around 90 to 100. You can think about an average of 100 marks, around 8 to 9 questions in GS1. And for prelims, we will have been, 15 questions on an average. That accounts to about 30 marks. That is the importance of geography in UPSC prelims and mains. I think you got the idea, right? 30 marks in prelims, 100 marks in mains. So this is an important subject, geography. And sometimes we can see the questions are asked by clubbing subjects. For example, geography can be clubbed with the environment, or else it can be clubbed with ancient India. For example, what are the rivers which flows through the ancient cities? So if we have the idea about the river, we can get the answer. So that is the basic concept. There will be, core geography will be around 10 to 12 questions, and other questions will be, clubbed with other subjects. And another important factor is that we want to be, you are reading newspapers, right? Newspapers. So UPSC is asking questions regularly from current affairs in subject geography. For example, during the Russia-Ukraine war, right? You are aware about that, no? So during the Russia-Ukraine war, UPSC asked what are the bordering countries of Ukraine. It is a predictable question. But some people thought that UPSC won't be asking that much, UPSC won't be that much predictable. So they have left those topics, and, So I want you to have 3 ideas about geography. I'll show you. First one, the importance of geography. "15 questions, 100 marks. Second one, the importance of current affairs in geography. These are the first 2 points that you must basically understand. The importance of geography in the exam, the demand of exam. Later we will see how this, what is the demand of UPSC geography, how questions are asked. So first of all, understand the importance of geography. So there is no point, we can't skip geography. That is the main factor. Sometimes some students are skipping some subjects because they thought that it is not relevant. So first of all, you don't skip geography. It have the relevance in UPSC exam. Second, while you are reading current affairs, the newspaper, make a note about the, the places seen in news. You understand, regions seen in news. Now Iran is in news, Israel is in news, Mediterranean Sea is in news. So that is another factor you want to take in account of, the places that are seen in news. Okay. Now let us look into the subjects, the syllabus of geography for prelims. Geography can be divided into world geography and Indian geography. You are aware about that, right? Geography, we are studying world geography as well as Indian geography. So the syllabus of world geography in prelims, that's what we are looking to. So just, I know, you'll be hearing new terms, new topics. Don't be afraid, just be with me, okay? So first one is physical geography. Today we are just going to look at the subjects, topics, syllabus, and the importance of geography in UPSC exam. We are not going to learn any subjects or core concepts. We are just going to have the syllabus. So the physical geography means the physical features that we are seeing in world. This world geography topics, the physical features that we are seeing in the world. So it can be divided into geomorphology. Geomorphology. Geomorphology means the surface relief, surface features in Earth. For example, mountains, volcanoes, like all those things comes under this geomorphology. Origin of Earth. So in school you have learned about plate tectonics theory, continental drift theory, all those theories. Don't worry about that. So that explains the origin of Earth. So we are going to study the origin of Earth under these topics and types and characteristics of rocks. Different types of rocks, how they are formed, what are their characteristics, what are their features. Then we are going to study about folding and faulting. We will learn all these things. Folding means you have heard about fold mountains, right? Fold mountains means the mountains formed by folding of the continental plate. This is folding. Faulting means cracking, just a crack in the bedrock. We will learn all these in detail. For the time being, I'm just giving an idea about syllabus. Okay. So folding and faulting. Then volcanoes on earthquakes. So regularly you are seeing some volcanoes are erupting in Indonesia and other parts of the world. So volcanoes, how are volcanoes formed? Why it is formed? Where it is formed? What are the parts where we can see volcanic eruptions? Then what we will study about earthquakes. What is earthquake? How it is formed? What are the features of earthquakes? Different types of waves in earthquakes. We will learn about primary waves, secondary waves, all those things. Then there is interior of Earth. We have learned there are different layers in Earth: crust, mantle, core, lithosphere, asthenosphere. All those things will be under this topic. Then weathering. Weathering, you have an idea about weathering, right? The rocks are getting crushed and the new soils are formed. All those things comes under weathering. Then what we are going to study is landforms. Landforms formed due to rivers, depositional features, islands, other by the wind, landforms caused by wind. There are many terms, new terms that we are going to learn in this topic, like sujens, yardangs, dunes. We have learned about dunes, right? In the deserts, we have dunes. Then glacier actions, how landforms are caused due to glacier actions. All those things comes under geomorphology. This is vast topic. It have many layers inside this. Many concepts are here. Then after that physical geography, geomorphology, we are going to study about climatology. Climatology. Climatology means we are studying about climate. What is monsoon? How climates are influenced? Why there is deserts in eastern part? Why there are deserts in several places in the continent? Or why there are islands? All those things comes under this climatology. Temperature. Temperature. As we go up about the atmosphere, the temperature increases or decreases. What do you know? When we go to hill stations, it is cold right there, higher altitudes. So when we go up in the atmosphere, the temperature decreases. So we learn how the temperature is decreasing, how it is influenced by the factors, what are the factors influencing those temperature inversion. All those things we will learn here. Then pressure belts of Earth. I know these things are, for the first timers, it is when you hear these terms first, there will be confusion around you. Don't worry, you will learn all these things. Pressure belts means, in Earth there are different pressure belts. We'll just give an intro. Different pressure belts are there in Earth. Equator, subpolar, subtropical. So we are learning how these pressure belts are formed, how it is influencing the climate, how it is influencing the transportation, trade. All those things we will be learning under pressure belts. Then wind systems. Wind systems means, have you heard about any winds? Wind. Loo. We have heard about the loo, right? A hot, dry wind in India. Or monsoon winds. We are having monsoons right now. So monsoon winds, many other winds are there in world. We will study about the wind systems. Then clouds. These are basic topics. Different types of clouds. Precipitation. Why rainfall is caused. Why all those things comes under this. Then cyclones and anticyclones. Cyclones. You have heard about cyclones, right? severe cyclones have been hitting India in the eastern part, Odisha, Tamil Nadu, Kerala. So we will learn about why, what are cyclones, how they are formed, and impacts of cyclones. All these things we will learn in this area. Then major climatic types. Simple topic. It's simple topic. When you go to the northern part, this is equator. When you go to the northern part, the climate is changing, right? The climate in poles and equators are different. So we will learn how this change happens, why this change happens. So what are the temperature zones, that climatic zones that we can see in different parts of the world? All those things comes under this climatic types. Then climate change and its impact. We are just looking at the syllabus, so don't be worried. We will go deep in all these syllabus through the coming months. So the other topic is oceanography. Oceanography means what are the structures inside ocean, how the tsunamis are formed, or else there are several mountains inside oceans. See, all those things comes under this topic. Ocean bottom reliefs, distribution of ocean. Then another important area here is that the marginal seas. What are the countries bordering the seas? For example, Caspian Sea, or else Red Sea, Andaman Sea, South China Sea. It is one of the UPSC's favorite topic. Almost every 2 years there will be questions from different countries bordering different marginal seas. UPSC have asked 2024, 23, 24. UPSC has asked about North Sea. What are the countries bordering North Sea? Previous years, UPSC have asked Caspian Sea, Aral Sea. All those things were asked by UPSC. So that is an important area which comes under oceanography. Then temperature, salinity, and other characteristics. How the temperature is varying inside the ocean to the depth, vertically and horizontally. Vertically means when we go down of an ocean, how the temperature is varying. Then horizontally means when we go from equator to poles, how the temperature is varying. That is what we are studying, temperature. And salinity also the same concept. How salinity varies when we go deep into the sea, and how salinity varies when we go horizontally from equator to poles. All those things we will study in oceanography. Then ocean currents. Ocean currents means just a river inside an ocean. We will learn about it. So what are the different ocean currents that are in the world, prevailing over the world? So we will learn about different ocean currents. Then El Nino and La Nina. You have heard this term, right? El Nino in news sometimes it will come, right? The monsoon is strong because of the La Nina effect, or the monsoon is weak because of the El Nino effect. We will learn in detail what is El Nino, what is La Nina, all those things, how they are formed. Waves and tides. These are the topics which comes under oceanography. So we have learned about physical geography. We are learning about physical geography, geomorphology, the structure and relief features inside it. Then we go to climatology. We have talked about climatology, how the climates are influenced, what are the different factors in climate. Then we have seen oceanography. Then another topic is biogeography. Biogeography means the studies about soils, soil, its origin, types, characteristics. What are the different types of soil? You have heard about red soil, black soil, laterite soil, alluvial soil. We will see what are the different types of soil, how they are formed, and their characteristics. Then major biomes of the world. These topics will be covered in environment also. What are the different biomes, that we learn in environment? Ecosystem, food chain, environmental degradation, conservation. All these topics will be coincided with environment, ecology, right? Then another topic is human geography. In UPSC mains, we will get at least one question from human geography. 2024 mains, they have asked about demographic winter. What is demographic winter? A question was asked regularly. UPSC, will be asking one question from human geography. So, man and environment, how the population ages, what are demographic dividend, how the old age population is increasing. So what are the impacts of that in the society and country? All those things comes under human geography. Then regional geography means we will learn about the physical features in different parts of the world. South America or Africa. What are the lakes in Africa? Uh, Rivers in Africa, rivers in South America. All these questions have been asked by UPSC. So we will just have a brief look into different physical features of in regional geography. Then environmental geography, as I've told, we will be covering these topics in ecology as well. That is a geography connected with environment. Then geopolitics and contemporary global issues. Geopolitics and contemporary global issues means, for example, South China Sea is in news, or else Indo-Pacific is regularly in news. So we will see what is Indo-Pacific, where it is, what are the importance, what are the political importance of Indo-China, or else Malacca Strait is there. Malacca Strait. Then we will see Red Sea, what are the geopolitics in Red Sea or Middle East Asia, all these regions. And at last, we will see about Earth and solar system. UPSC also have questions from Earth and solar system. This year also, that you have you seen the prelims question paper of 2025? There was a question about solar system. Which all planets are revolving clockwise, which all planets are revolving counterclockwise. All those questions can be asked. So we'll just briefly study about the solar system and Earth atmosphere. Sorry, Earth. This is the topics for mains given by UPSC in GS1. You can, the topics is so precise. So it will ask about world's physical geography that we have seen in prelims, distribution of key natural resources across the world. Every year, UPSC will ask a question regarding the distribution of key resources. For example, which is the country which produces largest mica, or which country produces which is the largest producer of cotton, largest producer of rice, paddy. All these questions can be asked. Or else, which country is the largest producer of uranium? That type of questions are regularly asked by UPSC. Then the factors responsible for location of primary, secondary, and tertiary industries. Why industries are? You can see, Bangalore, for example, Bangalore. Bangalore is an IT hub. Why those IT companies are coming to Bangalore? Or else in Kerala, we know Kochi. Kochi is an IT hub of Kerala. So why those companies are coming to Kochi? What are the factors that are influencing these companies to come to these places? So that is the factors responsible for the location of primary, secondary, and tertiary sectors. Then important geophysical phenomena such as earthquakes, tsunami, volcano, cyclones, etc. So the approach in geography is that we will be learning for prelims and mains, simultaneously. Prelims and mains. We will be covering all those topics in these prelims as well as mains simultaneously. So all those these are the syllabus of geography for UPSC mains. Then the second part of geography is Indian geography. Indian geography. So the topics covered here is basic geography, location, where India is located, what is the longitudinal or latitudinal extent of India, or else which is larger, India's is north south or east west, which is having highest distance or which is longer, north south or east west. That types of questions can be asked. And one time UPSC has asked what is the minimum number of states that we need to cover to reach from Kottayam to Kohima. So that types of questions have been asked from Kottayam to Kohima. So for us, we know Kottayam. So for Northeast students, they cannot guess Kottayam, right? So we want to know the capitals of the states. All those things we should be knowing. The neighboring countries of India. What are the neighboring countries of India? Which all are the neighboring countries of India? Then states and their position. States and their position. As I've told the question from Kottayam to Kohima. So how many minimum states we should cover to reach from Kottayam to Kohima? To answer these types of questions, we should have a thorough understanding about the Indian map, where the states are located, how they are connected. So that is an important area in basic geography. The distribution of boundaries, which all states are having borders within international borders, right? For example, which all states are bordering Nepal, which all states are bordering China, Afghanistan, or Pakistan. All those questions can be asked. Then the Indian climate. What are the climates in India? Different, monsoon is there, summer, winter. We will learn about all those things. And air masses and jet streams. These are new topics. I know you may not be familiar with all these terms, but we will learn different types of air masses, jet streams, then seasons in India, cyclones in India, climatic classification of India. For example, we know the northeastern regions are more green and lush. They receive more rainfall than the Rajasthan deserts, right? So we will be learning how these climatic zones are arranged in India. Then droughts and floods. Why floods are becoming more popular? Recently we can see several floods are there. 2018, the Kerala floods. Or in Assam there are floods regularly. So we will learn why these floods are occurring, all those things, or droughts are occurring. Then physical features. This is one of the important topic in UPSC. Physical features means different hills, mountains, rivers, all those things comes under the physical features. The Himalayas, Eastern Ghats, Western Ghats, Indian deserts, coastal plains, islands, Lakshadweep, Andaman, all those things comes under the physical features of India. Then river systems of India. What are the rivers, major rivers in the Himalayan rivers? Ganga, Brahmaputra. What are the rivers? What are the tributaries? Which is the largest tributary? Through which all states the rivers are flowing? All those things comes under the river systems of India. The mineral resources in India, where we can find coal, aluminium, bauxite. All these things comes under this area. The natural vegetation in India. Natural vegetations. What are the vegetations? What are the crops we can see in India? What are the different types of vegetation? We can see dry deciduous forest, evergreen forest. All those things comes under the natural vegetation of India. Infrastructures, hydroelectric projects, major dams. In which states or which river the major dams are located? All these things comes under the infrastructure. Agriculture of India, right? Land distribution. What are the different types of farming? Agriculture inputs, irrigation methods, land reforms, new agriculture practices. We have heard about different types of agriculture, aeroponics. So we will learn about what are those in this area. Then human geography, the same thing that we learn in world geography, right? Population, demographic dividend, how the population impacts the growth of the country, how this population changes, the changes in population impacts the economy. All these things will come under human geography. So we have just seen the topics of syllabus of UPSC. That is the first step that we need to do. So from my personal opinion, I think you must by heart the syllabus first. You must learn the syllabus of each subject. Then only we can understand, we can read current affairs regularly, right? Now, as you have started your preparations, you might be having a doubt whether to read this news. Is this news important? Or whether I want to skip this news or want to write notes about these news. So to tackle that confusion, the best methodology is that you can by heart the UPSC syllabus. If you have the syllabus in your mind, then dealing with current affairs is more easier. We know, if we know the syllabus, for example, we have constitution, we know the syllabus of constitution. If anything comes about constitutional reforms, constitution amendments, anything comes in news, the topic is important for us. It have relevance in UPSC exam. So if you have the syllabus in your mind, then reading current affairs become more easier. So first thing you should do is by heart the syllabus of the UPSC. In UPSC site, your notification of UPSC exam, you have the syllabus of each subject in geography. Geography is there, economy is there, constitution is there. So first thing that you should keep in mind is to by heart the syllabus. Then only you will grow. Otherwise, sometimes what happens is that some students will learn or by heart many facts which are not relevant to UPSC exam. There's a chance. So primarily you must focus on your syllabus. Then for geography, understanding geography, you must understand that questions can be, you must have conceptual clarity. concept, we need concepts, facts. These are the two pillars on which we study geography. We should know the concepts. Concept means why monsoon is formed or which wind is causing monsoon. That is the concept. Then facts means which state is receiving highest rainfall due to monsoon, which state is not receiving these monsoons. All these are facts. So we must learn geography on the basis of these concepts as well as facts. You will get it when we see the previous year questions. So these are the book list, which the sources you must learn for geography. NCRT class 6 to NCRT class 12 books. I will give the printout of this page for you. And for reference, there are two books which I prefer. The G.C. Lyon's Certificate Physical and Human Geography is a good book where these concepts are explained more simply in a simpler form. So G.C. Lyon's book, it is available in all the bookmarks. Then you should have the atlas. The atlas is very important for us. Oxford Student Atlas. Without atlas, geography, learning geography is so difficult. So you should be having your own atlas. Then Majid Hussein's Indian Geography is another book which will help us to learn Indian geography. But anyway, we will be giving notes. That will be more than enough. And if you need to have further reference, these books will help you. Certificate Physical and Human Geography by G.C. Lyon and Majid Hussein's Geography of India. So as a first step, you should buy an atlas. Oxford Atlas is good. You can prefer Oxford Atlas, and it will help us to learn these places. If you're not having an idea about the map, it will be very difficult for us to understand geography. So we should need the atlas. You are reading the NCRTs, right? I will be giving the list of NCRTs for you. Then for the time being, just look at the previous year questions, just to understand how UPSC is asking questions, how you should learn. Your Bible of UPSC prelims and mains is the previous year questions. If you're not familiar with UPSC previous year questions, then you will be studying something else. So you should be learning or looking into the UPSC previous year questions regularly. Then only you will understand how UPSC is going to ask questions, on what demand I should learn geography or other subjects. So let us see some questions. You just read these questions. This is 2025 UPSC prelims questions. There were about 15-16 questions in 2025 prelims from geography topics. So this is one of the questions. The scientific studies suggest that the shift is taking place in Earth's rotation and axis. Just see the questions, read. Scientific studies suggest that shift is taking place in Earth's rotation and axis. That is statement 1. Statement 2 says that solar flares and associated coronal mass ejections bombarded the Earth's outermost atmosphere with tremendous amount of energy. Solar flares. I know you are not familiar about solar flares, but you have an idea, basic idea, right? From sun, there will be some energy emissions, and these are called solar flares. The third statement is, as the Earth's polar ice melts, the water tends to move towards the equator. So what do you understand? These questions are from basics, the concepts. So in geography, concepts are very important. So can you answer this question simply? Just see, these are the types of questions that UPSC is asking. You understand the question, right? Scientific studies suggest that a shift is taking place in Earth's rotation and axis. Solar flares and associated coronal mass ejections bombarded the Earth's outermost atmosphere with tremendous energy. Then third statement, as the Earth's polar ice melts, the water tends to move towards the equator. Can you answer? The options are both statement 2 and 3 are correct, and both of them explain statement 1. Both statements statement 2 and 3 are correct, but only one of them explains statement 1. Only one of the statements 2 and 3 is correct, and that explains statement 1. Neither statement 1 or statement 2 is correct. See, So, the answers might be incorrect or might be correct. Don't worry about that. I'm just having, trying to give an idea what UPSC is going to ask. These are the types of questions that UPSC are asking. So the answer is here. Answer what is, it is option B. Both the statements 2 and 3 are correct, but one of them explains statement 1. I'm just giving an idea. I'm not explaining why the statements are the answer of these questions. So just to understand, statement 2 is not having any relation with the axis, the change in this rotation or axis of Earth. That we will learn. So see another question. Consider the following countries. Andes mountain passes through which all countries? So you can identify the subject now, the topic we have learned, we have told that regional geography, the major hills, rivers, deserts in different parts of the world. Andes is a mountain in South America. So the question was, which all countries are Andes mountain passes through which all countries? So UPSC is asking direct questions. This is an easy question. So if you know the map, if you have a basic understanding, we can answer these types of questions. Then look, another question from the same syllabus, regional geography. Different lakes are given and which of them are passing or crossing equator? That was the question. So understand here, we are going to learn about different lakes, different mountains, different rivers, and we will be discussing which all rivers will be crossing equator, which all rivers will be crossing Tropic of Cancer, which all rivers are crossing Tropic of Capricorn. So that is the part of the syllabus. You got the syllabus linkage, right? From where these questions are asked. That is what you should understand. Don't worry about the names of the rivers, lakes, we will learn it later. Look at another question. Which of the following are evidences of the phenomenon of continental drift? Direct question again. From the origin of Earth, continental drift theory, plate tectonics theory. So the questions are more predictable. Not so predictable, but to an extent we can predict from which all areas the questions are coming. Then look at another question. The amount of dust particles in the atmosphere is more in subtropical and temperate areas in equatorial and polar regions. Firstly, you read the question. Thereafter, I will explain. The amount of dust particles in the atmosphere is more in subtropical and temperate areas in equatorial and polar regions. Statement 2. Subtropical and temperate areas have less dry winds. So can you tackle this question? Not without learning anything, from your common sense. Just try to tackle this question. The amount of dust particles in the atmosphere is more in subtropical and temperate areas than in equatorial and polar regions. What do you think about that statement? Is it correct or incorrect? What do you think? You got the question right? Simply answer, no issues, right? Even though if it is wrong, there's nothing to lose, right? The amount of dust particles in is more in subtropical, temperate, equatorial, polar. You may not be familiar with subtropical or temperate, but you're familiar with equatorial and polar, right? You know what is equatorial region? The areas around equator. You know what is polar region? The area in the poles. Then subtropical in the between the tropics. Temperate regions. Just don't worry about all these statements. Just answer. What do you think? I'm just giving an idea how you should think about the questions, What do you say? My question is the statement correct or not? Don't hesitate to answer. You may just simply answer. Is the statement correct? Majority? Yes, that statement is correct. Now, how you will get this idea? Polar region, ice caps are there. Equatorial, in equatorial regions, there will be rain regularly, there will be rain, right? So we can tackle with these 2 points. First statement is correct. Then statement 2, have less dry winds. We have not learned about winds, but does statement 2, the statement 2 is incorrect. So the answer will be statement 1 is correct and 2 is incorrect. This is the way of UPSC asking questions. Application level questions could be asked. We will study the basics and UPSC will ask us to apply the basics into a question. That's the type of questions that UPSC is asking for prelims. Let us see some other. All these questions are asked in last year's prelims, 2025. In January, in the northern hemisphere, the isotherms bend equatorward while crossing the land masses and polarward while crossing the oceans. This question is from climatology. Isotherms, all these terms we will study in climatology. So these questions also from the basics. So if we study the basics, we can answer these questions. That's what I'm trying to convey. Look at another question. You don't need any background knowledge about geography to answer this question. In the context of effect of water on rocks, chalk is known as a very permeable rock, whereas clay is known as quite an impermeable or least permeable rock. Is it correct? Simply read the statement. What do you think? Without any basics, from your understanding, do you think that question is correct or not? Statement is correct or not? Is it correct? Have you seen clay, right? You have seen clay. So just try to answer. Do you get the meaning of question? Do you understand the question? The question says that in the context of effect of water on rocks, chalk is known as very permeable. That means it will allow water to go through it. Whereas clay is not permeable. That is the question. What do you think? Is it correct or not? Correct, right? No, we don't need any basics. We can answer these questions from our basic common sense. Then statement 2, chalk is porous and hence can absorb water. This is correct, right? Clay is not at all porous. What do you think? Just try to answer. No issues. Even though if it is wrong, no issues. You just try to answer. Clay is not at all porous. What do you think about that statement? How you react to that statement? What is the first thing in your mind that comes when you see these statements? Clay is not at all porous. What do you feel? What is the intuition? Is it correct or not? See, UPSC is checking your common sense. Here, we are not studying whether clay is completely permeable. The thing is that it is not at all, not at all porous. So, it is wrong because there is a chance that some water might drip. We are not telling that it is impermeable, right? Some water might go through the clay, but overall clay is not impermeable, but some water might go through it. So clay is not porous. This statement is wrong. So answering these questions are based on our basics, right? Our basic concepts, our understanding, our common sense. We want all our knowledge to answer all these questions, not just bookish learning, all those things. Now I'm trying to give a glimpse how the UPSC questions will be. So that is what I'm doing. Consider the following statements. Without the atmosphere, temperature would be well below freezing point anywhere on the Earth's surface. What do you think? Without the atmosphere, temperature would be well below freezing point anywhere on this Earth's surface. Statement 2, heat absorbed and trapped by the atmosphere maintains our planet's average temperature. Option 3, atmosphere's gases like carbon dioxide are particularly good at absorbing and trapping radiation. What do you think? C. Okay, any other options? What do you think about these statements? We will learn about all these things in detail, how the heat is trapped, heat budget and isolation. We will learn it that. But from your basic understanding, you are going to answer these questions, right? The answer is C. All these statements are correct. Basics, right? You know, without an atmosphere, heat cannot be trapped inside Earth. Heat will be released. So the temperature will be freezing. Then heat absorbed and trapped by the atmosphere maintains our planet's average temperature. Atmosphere is very important or vital for the life. So without an atmosphere, life won't be possible in Earth. Then atmosphere's gases like carbon dioxide are particularly good at absorbing and trapping radiation. General statements, right? All these statements are correct. See another question. This is one of the toughest questions. Which all countries have more than 4 time zones? It is not easy to answer. The answer, Brazil has, Brazil has exactly 4 time zones. All other countries have more than 5, 6, 8 time zones. So the answer will be only 4. That is a tough question, but we couldn't know, we couldn't find how many time zones will be there in Brazil. We are not learning all those factual things, right? That's why it was the toughest question. Then fine, places in news. I've told that places in news will be asked by UPSC. This is an example for that. Have you heard about Normandy? Sardinia Piedmont? You will learn this in world history actually. Normandy is famous for World War II. Have you seen the film Dunkirk? Dunkirk. There was a question. There was a film called Dunkirk relating to World War II. That's why I asked. So that film is based on the incidents happening in Normandy. You have 17 or 18 questions for this prelims from UPSC, from geography. See this question. India is the largest producer and exporter of turmeric in the world. Turmeric means turmeric, you know what is turmeric, right? So read the questions. India is the largest producer and exporter of turmeric in the world. More than 30 varieties of turmeric are grown in India. Maharashtra, Telangana, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu are the major turmeric producing states. From where this question is asked, in the syllabus we have major resources, agriculture, which are the largest states producing all these turmeric, tea, coffee, rubber. We will learn all those things. So this was also from direct question. So the answer is D. So here we have factual knowledge. Which all states are the largest producers? Is India the largest producer? These 2 points of facts that we learn in geography. 2024 questions, just 2 or 3 questions, just see. The longest border between any 2 countries in the world is between Canada and US. Regional geography, geopolitics. Then consider the second question. It might be easy for to answer. Just look at the questions. Which of the above countries are frequently mentioned in the media for their low birth rates and aging population or declining population? So, what's your understanding? Which one is it? Italy? Will Italy be there? Aging population. Aging population means the average age of the country is increasing. For example, Kerala is an aging state. In Kerala, you know why this aging occurs? Do you know why this aging occurs? Due to the increased medical, infrastructures and life expectancy. That is why the aging occurs. Death rate will be low. Therefore, the people will get more aged, and the average age of the country will be increasing. So then you understand. Answer. Try to answer. Japan. We have heard about Japan. So another thing that we can connect. Is a developed country or developing country or least developed country, which will be having more aged population or aging population? Developed country or least developing country? What do you think? Do you got the question right? My question is, you have country A, which is most developed country, and we have another country B, which is least developed country. So which country will be having highest average age of the population? A, right? That is a basic understanding. Then try to answer these questions. Italy is a developed nation, so Italy might be having higher population age. Japan is a developed country. Japan might be having highest population rate. South Korea is also a developed country. It might be having greater population age. Nigeria in Africa, which is not much developed. South Africa in Africa, there are many other issues. So the answers is Italy, Japan, and South Korea. You are getting how UPSC is asking questions. Then from river systems, there are questions. Arrange the rivers from west to east. These are the tributaries of Ganga, and UPSC asked to arrange the tributaries from west to east. Or they might ask, what are the tributaries of Brahmaputra? Arrange them from east to west. They might ask any types of questions from rivers. So we should learn rivers and its tributaries. Then UPSC, these are past 2 years UPSC prelims questions. We have seen around 20 questions on average, I think. So just to understand how UPSC is going to ask you questions in next prelims, 2026 prelims, you must need your concepts strong. You must make your concepts strong. You must have your facts with you, and you must have your concentration and common sense with you. What happens is when we are writing the exam, we will get overstressed sometimes. So basically, you know that when we overstress, if someone even though ask our name, we might get wrong. That is our situation during exams. So the first thing you must understand while writing the exam is that you should remain calm. Every time I will say to students that you must be like Dhoni, MS Dhoni, right? You know Dhoni, right? He's captain of India. So even if India needs 20 runs in last over, he'll be very cool. Let us see what happens. That is the attitude you need in exam. Sometimes if you're going to write the exam prelims, for the first 10 or 15 questions, you may not have any idea. You will get, oh, it's all over. So don't feel that is a mental strength that UPSC demands. If a candidate has the mental strength that even though if first 20 questions are tough, there will be some other questions which I could crack. So the mental peace and calmness is very important for your prelims. And if you're only calm, then if you're calm only, then you can use your common sense and basics to the question paper. So let us look at the mains questions for the past 2 years. What is the phenomenon of cloudburst explained? 2024 questions. There were 5 questions, around 80 to 90 marks. Each question, the question pattern of mains, there will be 20 questions. 10 questions, part A and part 10 questions of 10 marks, 10 questions of 15 marks each. That is the question pattern of UPSC. Basically, that is the question pattern. It might get changed, but currently this is the UPSC pattern. There will be 20 questions for each GS, 10 questions 10 markers, 10 questions 15 markers. So total 250. That is the exam pattern of mains. So see these questions asked from UPSC mains. From geography. Phenomenon of cloudburst. Climate. We will be learning it in climatology. Then what is sea surface temperature rise? We will study it in oceanography. what is sea surface temperature rise? How does it affect the formation of tropical cyclones? What I'm trying to convey is that for mains, the questions are more predictable than prelims. If we have the basics right, if you have covered all the syllabus for mains, then it will be easier for us to answer the questions for mains. That's what I'm trying to convey. You must understand that prelims question can be unpredictable. We might be using our common sense, our background knowledge, all those things to the prelims. For mains, we will be learning properly all the syllabus, all the subjects or the topics mentioned in the syllabus, and UPSC will be asking direct questions from that syllabus. That is the pattern of exam that you should understand. Prelims is more unpredictable, while mains is more predictable. That is what you should understand basically. So see, what is a twister? Twister means Chudilikatu, you have heard about that. Twister. What is a twister? Why are the majority of twisters observed in the areas around Gulf of Mexico? Or what is the concept of demographic winter? That means more aged population than younger population. So direct question from that area. Is the world moving towards such a situation? Elaborate. Then see the groundwater potential of Gangetic Valley is on a serious decline. How may it affect the food security of India? Connecting geography with economics. You can see, right?
Gallant IAS, chasing your passion to ace.